Guys.
Making your way in the world today takes
Good afternoon, folks. I'm having a problem here, but that ain't nothing new for me. And I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. I did mute one. I knew that was going to happen. I'm trying to watch this on the TV, and I got an echo in my ears. So it was like, wow, that was like, where'd that come from? All right. I want to welcome everybody from wherever you are, and whatever time it is on your timetable. It is now 4 o'clock on the East Coast, and today's date is April 12th. You have 3 days before taxes are due. And our favorite lady, Mrs. Bryant, has 3 days before she too goes to court. So, that being said, I want to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on with this case that's been happening here. And I'm going to try to see if this works. There we go. All righty. I don't know why that is so small on the screen there. There we go. Had the wrong one selected. Duh. All right. This building that you see up there in the top left-hand corner is no longer there. What it used to be was the Oakland County Insane Asylum. And it had a real rich history. And I think I still have it here. Yep, maybe not. Let me get into my phone here. Get out of the way. Well, fiddlesticks. Anywho, it was built a while back ago. And back in the 60s, Detroit had all the riots. And they migrated up here into Pontiac. Now, my former wife, who passed away a couple of years ago, worked at this building. And Oakland County Sheriff literally locked them in and would not let them out until everything kind of quieted down. So they ended up spending 2 days locked in there with the patients, and she worked in there as a secretary and business financing. So she's twiddling her thumb. Her husband's at home. She's on the phone. I'm stuck. I can't go nowhere. And because it's an insane asylum, obviously she ain't getting out. So she made the best of it, and she watched Pontiac pretty much get destroyed. And that took out a lot of houses, a lot of businesses in the area, and people were just, you know, going nuts. So what they did is they ended up right about 1977 or so. They leveled this building, and it became a open field. And let me see if I can find a silly thing. I've got to get a picture of this. What do I want? Maps? Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Now, let me share this thing for you. Google Map. Share. Let's see here. Well, poop. Oh, there it is. Duh. Okay, so on this map, I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't have it, but I can't adjust it because I didn't do it in OBS, obviously. But right about, where's it at here? I gotta flip back here and see where it's at. Okay, let me slide down here. And Elizabeth Lake, Oakland County. Fiend Stonegate. Now, this is the apartment complex that this case took place in. And if you notice here, you have Oakland County friend of the court. And just in front of it, this is a large parking lot. This road right here, do. Let me turn around here. Whoops, got to go down the street here. You can see the apartment complexes back up in here behind it. So let me go down the street a little bit. We'll blow the stop sign there. But right behind this set of buildings right here, front of court's right here, or being to the court, and then you got some other stuff to across here. But these rows or these apartments, as this is the main street, and then you got a side street comes in on it. It kind of loops back up that way. But what it does, they knocked all this stuff out, and they brought in brand new apartments down in here. So when they had the insane asylum over here on this whole property back here, all this was pretty much leveled. They kept the trees out in the front. They kept the little red bricking and some decoration areas that identified. I don't know if I can get in there or not. But in between the houses and whatnot, there are some remnants of the building and the building construction itself. So when you go back to, you can see the foundation and how that building was made. And it's set right here where these buildings are. So people in town were all kind of, trying to figure out where that building was between OBS and, dang OBS and StreamYard and bouncing back and forth, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But that's where that's at. Um, I went by there the other day with a friend of mine, and it still has that orange tag, under construction, no admittance. And I got a problem here with this one. Why is this not picking it up? I'm not getting YouTube recording it. Okay, fine. Anyway, like I said, too many windows, and it's kind of fun to deal with. So the big thing that's going on with this thing is the fact that we are still in a current hold status. Now, the charges that she got arrested for was very simple: child abandonment. And they gave her, excuse me, the max on that because they could always go down, but they can't go up. All right. It's like a murder one case. You can go down to manslaughter or second degree, but you can't go from manslaughter to first degree. That's why they do that. So she's been sitting over there in Oakland County. And when she first got in there, she played the poor, pitiful me. My my meds are not here, and all this was because I couldn't get insurance, and I couldn't get my meds for my psych condition. Now, whether she got one or not, who knows? Not my problem to worry about. But if I got an echo, let me try to turn it down just a hair. All right, so that should take that out. Get me that back up there. Every now and then I hear it, but all right, get my volume back up where it belongs. Doot 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 doot. Oh, dag nabbit, get up there. All right, so really, you're gonna do that? All right, so anywho, that's where I think I just dropped my volume again. But let me see if I can get it back up where it belongs. Doot 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 doot. Oh, I'm about ready to switch microphones. Okay, how's that? Better? Type a 1 if you hear me. Hi, Justice. How are you? Glad you joined us today. So, if or did you get the intro on what's going on with this case? And right now, I think you're the only one that's here. I think. Yeah. Whoop. Get down there. Dagnabbit. Okay. Can I see it? Yeah, that works. All right. So the the case itself is still pending, as I said. Now, if you haven't had a chance to watch those videos on my site, please take a moment today They're about an hour long. Um, and we tried to incorporate everything that they had available on the what do you call it? Uh, TV news crews, and we brought those over here on StreamYard and OBS. That way you could see it from start to finish. She got arrested, had her first initial um, "you're being charged with," and then they did another one because she was calling the person, it's actually her father, um, and trying to arrange the what do you call it? The uh, bond issue. Now, the original bond was 250. That court case that I'm talking about now, they wanted to lower that because Dad could not afford it. He's retired. He's trying to make it on what he's got. He's got a house, and he's trying to deal with reality. So they lowered it down to 50,000, and that's where it sits. So they hit the gavel, put her back in jail, and she's in there passing the phone number around to everybody and trying to get them to let her call the house. Now the question is why? So now we have another court case. And that judge was pissed off, baby. Let me tell you, she was not a happy camper. And you'll see that in that video. Um, and they finally slapped her on the arm and gave her a very stiff, I mean, stiff ass chewing and told her flat out, you are not going to be able to call for a week. If you do, we are going to be right back here within 24 hours, and I'm going to really nail you. You're going to lose everything you got. And like I said, the first week or so, when she first got arrested, after she got her, um, trial date, if you will, um, she was in the medical ward and in a single man cell. They wanted to keep her off the floor with General Pop for her own safety because everybody in Oakland County knew she was coming. They were waiting and ready. So she's been pretty much in isolation and they've been trying to deal with this. And now that she's quote unquote got her meds regulated. Oh, sorry about that. My voice is getting dry. But hopefully now, there it is. Give me a half second here. Oh, much better. So hopefully now, uh, we'll see what happens. Up until this point, there has not been any news or updates about her getting her hand slapped for using the phone. Is she calling? Could be. Are they calling her? Could be. Is somebody visiting? Could be. We don't know. And I'm not going to fool you. I stopped by the sheriff's office today and we got to talking to our local sheriff's dispatcher for Pontiac and asked her about this case. And she just kind of rolled her eyes and, you know, it still bothers the guys on the road that went there. To give you an idea how bad this really was, for those of you that did not watch this, 4 feet That's kneecap height. 4 feet? Yeah, kneecap height to mid thigh. Trash everywhere. Unsupervised 3 minors. No water. Where do you go to the bathroom? Wherever you can. What do you clean yourself with? Or clean yourself up with? Whatever you can. How do you get food? Well, I'm going to text mom and let her know that we need some food. Yeah, that was a joke. Let's send them a pizza. Now, evidently, while she was collecting money, she was sending food left and right. All of a sudden, the money stops. Money runs out, and the kids suffered. Now, all of this took place in February 2020. That's when she left. And it wasn't until this year, that's 5 years, for those of you that can't count, that those kids were left to their own devices to fend for themselves. Oh, where was the family? Everybody asks. Well, funny you should ask. They would call her on her cell phone. And when they did, she would give them the cock and bull story of they're visiting somebody, they're doing a sleepover, they're going to be doing this, they're going to be doing that. Not with her, but somebody else is taking care of them. Okay, so the whole time they're not going to school. Now we got a major problem because nobody is looking after them from the school. Not one single report of truancy came out of the school. Go figure, right? And here again, another ball that got dropped on these kids. And Oakland County, once they figured out what was going on, they started tightening up the belts. Things got changed. No longer do you get a pass. If you're not at school for, I think it's either 2 or 3 days, I'd have to ask my sister. If you're not in school and you do not answer, Oakland County is coming out to visit you. Guarantee it. CPS is coming out to visit you. Guarantee it. That ain't flying no more, no how. And, that's a good thing. So when you look at the positives out of this circumstances, they outweigh the damage in a good sense. Another child will not have to go through this in theory. In theory. Now, whether or not in practice, that's going to be the question. So, her next court date, and this is the update for you, will be in Oakland County, and I think it's 51. And what they're doing is they're actually getting into the court itself, the court case, and bringing in evidence and, can we actually do this? So the judge, the prosecutor, defense attorney, they're going to be laying out their case. If she wants to plead insanity or diminish, incapacitation, whatever. This is where that's going to take place. Is it going to be open to the public? I don't know. This last court trial, the defense attorney tried to get him to put a muzzle on everything. Sorry, dude. You live in the state of Michigan. Michigan law will not put a gag order on any court trial. It's a freedom of information. And since they've already put the cat out of the bag, it's been all over YouTube. It's all over Facebook. Everybody and their cousin knows about it. Well, the judge just said, nope, denied on that one. Next. And they started coming up with another one, denied on that one. So they're trying to get them into, let's get out of this crap. Okay? We're not playing this. You're not calling your folks. You do it again, forget it. You're going to lose your everything. So she's been behaving herself, I'm assuming. And we'll see what happens on the 15th. When I find out, and I'm sure the news will cover this, I will be more than happy to come on live. So until then, hi there, Mrs. M. How are you? Good to see you. If you have not seen the videos prior, um, please do so. I don't know if she's still here or not. I don't know. Jane, you still with us? I think she left. Yeah, my counter's not working. Go figure. So that's where we're at. We'll find out more on the 15th, one way or the other way, and we'll see where we're at from there. All right. Anybody got any questions? Comments? I don't know. If not, be sure to watch those other videos. It'll fill you in with what I was talking about. And like I said, we're getting into the actual court trial as of the 15th, and we'll go from there. And when the news comes out, we'll be on and we'll be sharing that with you as well. All righty. So, yeah, there's two videos that are up there right now. The first one kind of goes over the initial contact by Oakland County. To give you an idea, Oakland County forensic team had to don full hazmat suit with a respirator. That's how bad it was. It was feces filled, garbage filled, you name it, it was filled. So once they got the kids out, they found one in the bedroom, one in a closet, and the other one was locked out the door and met the officer. None of the kids had any hygiene done for 5 years. So they were riddled with human waste. They were sleeping on pizza boxes. That's how bad it was. The officers that went in there literally came out and got sick, according to the neighbor that I talked to. They were throwing up all over the place out there. It still has a do not enter. Oh, yeah, it was ugly. It still has the hazmat red tag, do not enter. They hired, and it's on the video, they hired a cleanup lady and her, I want to say father, uncle, something like that. It was just the two of them. And they were absolutely overwhelmed. Once they got all the furniture and junk out of there, and that was an all day process. And according to those in the area, they brought in a full size dumpster and a standard trash can type dumpster, vehicle. And 6 guys, I think I counted, were actually carrying all the stuff out and literally piling it up on the street. And then the garbage company would just, chuck it in the truck and squish it down. And it took a day and a half to get it out to where that cleaning team could go in there and clean it up. I'm going to try to cover the trial as best I can. I don't know if it's going to be on TV or not. Channel 4 News has been, kind of doing a super, super good job if you're here in Michigan. Um, and 7 came up, 2 came up on the initial, but 4 is our local news that covers this area up here. So they were doing an awesome job with it. Now on that court case video at the very end, and I apologize in advance, I did not edit, so you're going to see a blue screen. I gotta find it. Give me a minute. Do. Oh, for crying out loud! Yeah, I can't find it. I deleted it, but oh wait a minute, it might be in here. Do. Yeah, there it is. Damn it! Oh, that's why. Now try it. This blue screen will pop up, and that was my edit points that I didn't edit out, and some are longer than others. Just fast forward through it. Once I got everything that I was doing on, finished, then I went through and uh, started checking out to see if there's other people covering this particular case. There was one that I could find, only one, and I don't know if she's from the area. I really don't think so. She has a European, Scottish, British, whatever you want to call it, accent. Really did not know anything about Michigan, Pontiac, or what's going on in this general area. The thing about it, I live in this town, and when I heard it, my sister came over, picked me up, because I don't drive. My doctor would have a fit if I drove. Um, so we went out, scouted the location, and earlier, I don't know if you saw the map that I had up earlier, but it was built on this property. They tore down the old Oakland Estate Asylum and built condos on that property. And from right here, I don't know if you can see me or not. I don't have my TV on. I don't think so. But right at the base of that screen, there is a major road. This grass berm across right in front is still there in place. And that property behind there, they absolutely leveled. And you can still see remnants of the red bricking. And they built the condos on it. So everybody in town was confused as far as where this actually took place. Most of us thought this was north of us on the north end of Pontiac because they got a ton of condos up that way. Well, today I heard, or not heard, but Oakland County paper actually had the address. It's like, cool. So I Googled it on map. And when I saw that, I was like shocked because it's where this road is. They built the Oakland County Friend of Court complex. And behind that is the main road where they lived at. That's how close they were to getting help. Pretty sad. But here again, the neighbors had no clue. Nobody smelled anything, which is really unbelievable. I don't know if they ever opened a window or not. Probably not, because this was in, um, what do you call it? 5 years. So you got winter, summer. The only time the oldest child left the house was 2 times. Once to go out just to feel the grass on his feet, right? The next time he opened the door, looked around, grabbed the mail out of the box that was overflowing. Beyond that, nothing. The 2 youngest ones have never been outside in 5 years. And it's all explained in those videos. And when you see it, I'm going to tell you right now, it is a major trigger warning. So be prepared. If you want to cover it and or use my file, feel free to do so. In fact, I welcome it. Or you could cheat like everybody else does, you know, critique me. I don't care. I won't cut you. I will definitely not strike it. I will definitely not clip it. Feel free to do it. Just give me credit at Bob H. Place. That's all I ask. We are not monetized, so we could care less about any of that nonsense. What I do here, I do strictly out of boredom, to be honest with you. I mean, it's straight up boredom. Now that I'm on disability, I have time on my hands. I go around to these different channels, and I'm getting fracking tired of dealing with all the chaos. So I got back into doing what I wanted to do originally, and that's following up Michigan court trials, Michigan court cases, those that are making national news, and this one did. Vinny covered it on Court TV. What is that? National headline news or whatever. I can't remember it. It's the same group that covered Sebastian case that everybody went to. Um, so once I found that out, it's like, you know what? I'm going to jump on this. It's local to me. I can go out there and talk to the people. I did not record them because of this. People out there are real skittish. We're talking. I'm going to be gentle here. If I said a hood rat, would you know what I meant? That area out there is loaded. So rule number 1 is don't put yourself in a position to get hurt. So we just met in the parking lot. Those who were out there, hey, can you fill me in? I'm trying to do a video about it, and I'd like to get your opinion on it. I wish I could videotape you, but for your safety, I don't want to dox you, just in case. I don't know who's with SEC, witness protection. I don't know who's being sought after. So for their protection and mine, and I explained it to him, I'm not going to videotape, but I will write down your information and present it as we get to that point. And people are absolutely thrilled that I thought that far ahead to respect them. And they thanked me and filled me in with what was going on. As that garbage company was out there, the street area was lined with onlookers, and they were being absolutely filled with disgust. The house was trashed. The garage, oh, I'm going to save that one for you. That one right there is going to really piss you off and make you kind of wonder. So, any questions that I can answer for you? Feel free to throw it at me. And are you in Michigan or where are you from? What state are you in? And I appreciate you guys being here, by the way. Thank you. And for those of you that are on replay, please let me know what state you're in. I don't care what city, just what state. And that way, I hope they got justice. Well, the kids are doing great. They have got a working psychologists, and they've got CPS involvement. Oakland County's pretty much adopted these little guys, so they drop by just about every week, to check in on them, see how they're doing. Some of the neighbors, they've kind of put feelers out to Oakland County, and they all wrote like little letters. The school that they went to made little signs and cards, and they deliver those out to the kids just to let them know that you're not forgotten. You are loved by the city. Whew. I hate getting emotional, but that's part of being human. And so like I said, the kids are being supported immensely. Now, I'm not sure if it's the grandfather that's got them. I know there were 4 kids originally involved. When she left, the 4th child, the baby, the father just came out of jail and filed for custody and was granted custody. Again, she didn't want anything to do with the kid. So, and here again, a lot of that, I think, and this is my opinion, was postpartum syndrome. That's probably what kicked it in the butt. When her money ran out, she got scared, couldn't pay the rent, and the rest was just what the rest is. The property manager, owner, they went in, called Oakland County Sheriff for a welfare check. They figured somebody died in the place. You haven't paid rent in 4 months. Something's going on. Oh, that's an understatement. I was hoping my sister was going to join me, but she has. They're dealing with their own issues, trying to find a place, and getting all of that squared away. But here again, you know, the rally support when they got him out, Sheriff Richard put out a request to help the kids. This city and county in a tri-county area bombarded Oakland County Sheriff with clothes, toys, you name it, hygiene, anything you could think of, they were given. And it got to the point where the sheriff went on TV and said, "Time out, guys. We can't walk through the station. All right, we got enough. If you want to help them out, that's great. Donate it to PayPal." Because what they're doing is they're setting up a college fund. And there's a link in that description. Now, like I said, the one with the court trial, at the very end, at the very, very, very end, there is that lady from overseas. And it's her take on the information. She did a real good presentation, and I can't remember her channel name, but that is in there as well. And she does a lot of cases. Not as good as we do, our community, but she gave the basics. I'll give her that much. She put the basics out, whereas I've got the actual court proceedings, the TV, and everybody else, so you can actually see what's going on, and that's why I put her at the tail. So you'll definitely get a good feel with what's going on with that. So, and it feels good to be back in the saddle, covering cases outside of the chaos. You know, I know everybody on the Sebastian Rogers case is pointing fingers back and forth. You said, he said, they said. And over a year gets real old, real fast. And it's gotten to the point where people don't know who to believe anymore. And then you get the lawsuit on top of that. Well, if you're not in the community, be grateful because it'll definitely drive you nuts. If you are, you know what I'm talking about. So, take a break. Come over here. Have a cup of coffee. I plan just to go online and if you have a camera and a microphone, you want to come up on stage, you know, I'll be glad to have you aboard. So, with that, I'm going to end this stream. It's been going now for a while, and I want to make sure that it's pretty concise, pretty short. And like I said, the 15th, in 3 days, tax day, by the way, she'll be back in court. I will not be there, but hopefully we will find out later what's going on with everything. So hopefully we shall see. Until then, it is what it is, and we'll continue to rock on and hope for the best. And I want to thank you all for joining us. For those of you out there in the bushes, thank you very much. Like I said, money is not an issue for me. That is beyond it. Social Security would have a fit if I had an income. So this is for me to you. It's my pleasure to bring you, the viewer, what's going on in Michigan to get your mind off of other things. So until next time, have a blessed weekend. Remember, stay safe. No driving distracted. Right now, between now and Easter, every state is doing enforcement, and they are going after everybody. It's not the car that behind you. They've got people with binoculars sitting on the side of the road. We passed 2 today. Funny as all get out. And we're doing our thing in the car, and the guy behind us is doing this right in front of the window, right over the steering wheel. And just as we went by, the guy, really? I was like, oh my God, So, yeah, he's looking at a nasty ticket, but that's okay. So, again, thank you guys. I hope to see you all next time. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. Like I said, it ain't about the numbers. It's so you can get notified when we go live. So until then, have a great weekend and enjoy. And by the way, if I don't see you, have a great Easter. Remember what it's about. Bye-bye.